Pontiac Silverdome defies explosives, and Twitter Snickers. For one of the only NFL teams never to make it to the Super Bowl, it was a little too on the nose. The Pontiac Silverdome, home to the Detroit Lions from 1975 to 2001, was supposed to be demolished on Sunday morning. As hundreds of people watched, a series of explosive charges raced around the base of the building, but when the smoke cleared, the stadium was still there. Employees of the Adamo Group, the demolition contractor, turned to each other in consternation. "That didn't work," one said, the Detroit Free Press reported. Officials interviewed by Defies in Detroit tried to put a positive spin on the blunder. "Perhaps," they said, the Silverdome, which also housed the Pistons of the NBA from 1978 to 1988, was built a little too well. Rick Capetilli, executive vice president of Adamo, told the Free Press that about 10% of the explosives had failed to detonate because of faulty wiring. Those charges, installed in 8 locations, were supposed to demolish the steel columns supporting the stadium's upper level. "There's wires separated somewhere," Mr. Capetilli said. "We've researched it. We haven't found it yet. We're going to continue research, but it's not coming down today." Depending on the cause of the wiring problem, he added, Adamo may set off the unexploded charges later this week or take down the columns by other means. Company officials could not be reached on Sunday night. Adamo was also behind the demolition last month of the Georgia Dome, where the Atlanta Falcons played from 1992 to 2016. That task went off without a hitch, unless you happen to be an employee of the Weather Channel, whose camera vantage point was blocked by a city bus at the worst possible moment. "Get out of the way, bus!" an employee yelped as the stadium, unseen, thundered to the ground. By the time the bus moved, there was nothing to see but smoke and rubble. "Ugh!" the employee shouted, swearing repeatedly. Many long-suffering Lions fans saw the failed demolition as emblematic of their team's fortunes, or of their cities. "Most Detroit thing ever," one Twitter user wrote. "I guess the building is not used to implosion on a Sunday until 1 p.m., another tweeted. Other people chose to view it as a symbol of resilience in a city that has suffered deeply in recent decades. After all, the Silverdome is famously dilapidated, the Detroit News called it an eyesore, and that is one of the more polite descriptions, but on Sunday, it stubbornly refused to die. Shortly after the failed demolition, someone created a Twitter account for the stadium. "Tough as hell," the account's description read. #IsRevive12.3.17